Hi you guys. So today we're going to demonstrate simple distillation. Prior to us actually doing the distillation, we need to make sure our setup is correct. And basically what we have here are our two ring stands, and we also have clamps that are going to hold our distillation apparatus, and we also have clamps and a heating mantle that's going to go under our reactant. And the reason why that is that this is a heat-based reaction, so we need for our flask to be directly in the position of our heating mantle. And this also serves another purpose in that when we take our final distillate out of for our fourth tube, we want to be able to pull our heat down, because remember, we are doing distillation of four different test tubes. So the fifth volume is going to remain in our round bottom flask, but we don't want it to distill, so we're going to put the heat at the bottom. So we're going to need for this to be accessible to go up and down. So we'll walk through this totally right now. So what you see here is our round bottom flask. I've already put our boiling chips in there. 2 to 3 boiling chips is fine. And we're going to add our unknown alkane here. And this is what is actually we're going to separate. And we know that our simple distillation is going to allow us to separate at boiling points of greater than 70 degrees C. So we have 25 mils of our unknown alkane A, and we're going to pour it into our round bottom flask. And if you notice, we have a funnel here because this is very precise, so we don't want to lose anything. So we want to make sure that we utilize the funnel. And we've done that. And now over here, this is our actual distillation apparatus. And it has a head adapter and it has a receiving adapter. And if you notice too, it has 2 hoses on it. And it's easier to attach the hoses on the apparatus while it is not attached to the bigger unit, because that way you can defray from breaking anything and you can ensure that it is tight. So this hose that is closer to the end goes for the water coming into your apparatus. So you always want to make sure that this hose towards the bottom of your distillation apparatus, the water is going to go into it. And this hose at the top is going to go into your sink, and that's going to relieve the water out of the apparatus. Okay, so we will attach our head gasket. We're going to attach it with the blue kegs. They're going to go right here, and maybe I can put this here and hold it. That is clamped tight. And you want to make sure that this is clamped securely, because if there's any leakage of vapor, then that means it's taken away from your volume. So you want to make sure that this is clamped on tight. You want to make sure that this keg is also clamped on tight. Okay. So now we have our fully put together distillation apparatus. We're going to come over here. We're going to put the head gasket into our reactant flask that is being held in place above the heating mantle. And then we're going to clamp Sorry about that, you guys. We're going to clamp this in place. And if you notice, the distillation apparatus is at an angle. And as it should be, because you want things to flow down. Okay, so we have our distillation apparatus set up, and we also have our 4 tubes marked. So once we see that the apparatus is set up, we also want to insert our thermometer. And basically what the thermometer is going to do is going to let us see the temperature as the reactant is heating up. And this data is important because this is what you're going to record on your table. You're going to record the temperature initial, the TI, for the very first distillation that you collect here. And remember, we're collecting 5 mils. Now, once you collect your 5 mils, you want to very quickly move it. Start your collection of your fraction number 2. So you're finishing up with your TI for your fraction number 1 and the TF. The TF of that fraction number 1 is actually going to be the TI of your fraction number 2. And you're going to do this until you finish up all 4 fractions. And after you finish that 4th fraction, that is when you want to drop the heating mantle so that the liquid will not distill any longer, and then that will have you, after that point, you will have collected all 4 of your fractions.